Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and this is Reed's Beauty Trip. So this is a project that I have taken on myself because hence my name is Reed. I love to read. I've been reading since the age of 4. I was taught by a retired teacher to read before I even started school. So by the time I started kindergarten, I was at a 3rd grade reading level. So I was reading chapter books before most kids were doing their ABCs. So I have been reading a really long time. So I love books, and I love makeup, skincare, and stuff like that. And if you hear the little clipping, that's one of my dogs. Probably Mina. All of a sudden I have the sniffles. I've been fine, and then all of a sudden, like, I did all my makeup, and now I have a runny nose. Go figure. So what I wanted to say was, so every month I have roughly 4 books that I'm working on. Okay, that's my agenda book. We don't need my agenda book. So let's see, these 2 are for something else. So let's get into the one I finished. And I finished, let me give a little bit more background. For Pan the Page I have a makeup product assigned to a book. So while I'm reading that book, I have something assigned to it. So I finished Magic Triumphs by Ileana Andrews. I finished other books, but I only have like 4 that are assigned to this project where I have makeup. I have other books that I'm reading, but they're not assigned to makeup. Good heavens if we did do that. So I love this series. She's starting to do the spin-offs in the last year and stuff, so a lot of ums. So I think is a series that I think everybody should read, especially if you're into urban fantasy, or just her journey through these books to me is fantastic. And who she, if you want to say, collects, or who she becomes part of, because she went from really nobody in her life to having a very large, close-knit, extended family, and just to do what she needed to do to protect Atlanta. I love this series because, to me, the contrast of magic and technology fighting for control of Earth, in a sense, is viable. Like, you have a magic wave, and then you have a tech wave, and it's like how to survive and how things around you survive this stuff, where talking telephones, lights, electricity, things like that. I mean, it's all, airplanes. Can you fly? This kind of goes into all that kind of stuff for that. And the mysticism of that. So I really like this series. This is probably one of my favorite urban fantasies. It's probably what really got me into urban fantasy the most when this series started. The writers, because it's 2, it's a husband and wife, they're fantastic. And I love this series. But what we had with this one was, because if you've already heard, Atlanta, she had where she would go to Savannah. So my Stila Savannah lipstick was the one I used. And I've used it quite a bit. It doesn't look it, but I have used it a lot. I love it. I do. Actually, I have it on. I do. I love this one. So this series is, to me, if you're into the female hero, doesn't need a guy to save her and all that, this is the one. Doesn't mean there's not guys in there, but she's tough. The first book alone had me hooked, and since then, every time one of these books, the Kate Daniel series, I always get that. Now she has another one called The Iron Covenant that's series, so I'm excited to see where this one goes with Hugh, because if you read about Hugh, you understand why I'm fascinated on what's going to happen with this. Okay, so that one's done. Wild Card I finished, and of course I completed Flamebound, Magic Triumphs. I'm missing a book. or I didn't put another book in when I finished one of them. But one of them I am in the middle of working on is the Romanoff Sisters. This is a work in progress. I am at almost page 100. It is a good read. I actually read it on my lunch hour or my break. So this is like, I alternate between this one and the other book I have not finished. So what I'm trying to do is keep 2 urban fantasy books in this plan and 2 non-sci-fi books. So I'm trying to keep my other stuff and read. So the Romanoff Sisters is one, and for that one I did Pure, Be Your Selfie. So the progress is I am hooked on this one, and it's called Pure. I love this one. It's a matte. There's 4 mattes in this and 5 shimmers, but I really like this Pure, and I've used it for a lot of the base and starting up when I do my eyes and stuff. So this is it's not bad. I love, right now I'm at the part where, you know, their parents were truly in love, and their mom wasn't a normal queen or Sarita. She wanted those children with her at all times. She had the nursery next to their room, or if not in their room. She had their toys in her sitting room. The king, he met with all his people and stuff like that in the mornings, but in the afternoons it was time for his wife and his children. He made time. They took walks in the garden. They interacted with their children. Their children were very cherished, very loved, and very involved with their parents. So it's a true royal romance. It's not it may have been an arrangement, you know, because of them both having royal blood, but in the long run, these parents loved and cherished their children. Even when people were upset they kept having girls and all that, they didn't care. They loved their children. They never punished their children for who they were and how they were born, what gender they were born. So I like that. So far, this book's really good. So I like it. So this is still getting used because I'm still reading this. Here's the other one. Now, I have a friend of mine. She is like getting through this like no other. I am starting to get through this, so I'll probably take it this week. I'm at page where am I at? Page 177. It's called Sometimes I Lie. Still not getting into it, and I know my other 2 friends were like, oh, I loved it, the twist, da da da. I'm having issues with it. I don't know. It's not ringing my bell. But for that, I have my Aero Boost lip balm for my Pan That Page. I use it on top of lipstick. I use it with lipstick. It is the reason I choose this one is it comes out, it's supposed to be purple. It's got some other lip gloss on it, but it has that pH thing. So once you put it on, it turns pink. I put it on top of some of I think my Marc Jacobs lipstick the other day. I wasn't thinking. I was like, oh, my lips feel a little dry, and I went, poop. I forgot I had my Marc Jacobs lipstick on. So I whooped on top of my lipstick. So, so this one I am still painting. I am getting through this. My plan is to finish this book hopefully this week. I want to have it done. I want it to move on. It's an international seller. A lot of people like it. It's just not ringing my bell. I don't know. I think I like more adventure. I like more of the fast pace. This is not fast pace. Give me mysteries, give me thrillers, give me sci-fi. Boom, boom, boom. I want that boom, boom, boom. That's not giving me the boom, boom, boom. So, the next one, and that book is in my bedroom and my husband is sleeping, and that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. For that one, I am just starting reading, a little bit behind on it, just so reading. I chose my Sleek Lip Shot, and it is called Plot Twist. Because, you know, he's always got a good plot twist. and it's like a good terracotta color. So it's kind of orangey brown. So I'm excited to see how this wears. But this is my Neil Gaiman one. Never wear one. It's a book about, it's like the London Underground and stuff, the twists, all this. So I am excited to see how this one goes, because like I said, I like Neil Gaiman. He's written for Doctor Who. He's, written episodes for Doctor Who and such. So anything like that, I really want to support the writer. And then my other fantasy book, it's probably fantasy romance. That is going to be my Nalini Singh Ocean Light. I actually didn't get this when it was in hardback. Somehow I just missed it. Nalini Singh, this is what's called the Psi Changeling series, where you have humans, which is a percentage of the population. You have psychics or psis, and then you have shifters. And how the three of them get along, or I guess don't get along. This one is with a human and a water shifter, and he has injected something like a microchip the base of his brain to keep psychics, psi people out of his head. Not to make him do stuff, not to hurt him, not to do anything. But unfortunately, this chip has been known to malfunction and kill them. So he is actually been rescued by an underwater, the shifter population, that's the water shifters, who are very secretive. So they're really just now coming into this series. This series is about 20 books long. I mean, and it had me from the get-go. And it's just gotten better. There's ones like when I first read, I'm like, oh, I can't wait till this person's... So it is a romance. Don't care about that part. I just like the whole... If these happen, how... not everybody of the changelings are good. Not all of the psis are bad. Even though people have that concept. Where they had what was called, for the psychics, they did what was called the silence, where they took emotion out of it because emotion affected how they did stuff, or how they affected people, or raging and being emotional. And some of them have come through it with being in control, but finding a balance. So the silence has been what's called broken, and now it's dealing with the ones that broke silence and are now emotional, and they're not safe. The ones that have broke silence and are trying to help the other ones. So that kind of is what I'm fascinating. So with this, what I am panning is my Bobbi Brown Beach. I love this. This is my country spot. One of my friends is going to, gosh darn it, she's gonna laugh because she's anti-rollerball. This is the one I love as a rollerball because I put it on my pulse points and it takes me just to the beach. It reminds me of the beach and it takes me there. So I like to put that on my pulse points. So I'm sorry, Lori, it is a rollerball. Forgive me, but I like to put it behind my ears. I don't like to spray it on. I actually like to roll it on so it hits my pulse points just right. So that is my one thing about this one. So these are the 4 books that I am reading. Like I said, the plan is this one will be done. And I am sure Neverwhere or Ocean Light will also be done this month. I have a few other books that I'm working on. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. If you like this, please comment or thumbs up down below, and I hope to talk to you soon.